Water. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? We thank you for tuning into the Sports, Life, and Everything Else podcast, aka S.L.E.E.P, where sports, life, and entertainment collide. Presented by the away team, this is episode 107, our second in the bucket, produced by
Excellence!
My name is Michael Roberts, aka Mike on the mic, and I'm joined by my friend and co-host, Mr. Taylor Super. Taylor,
What's happening? What's happening?
what's cracking? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, man. I cannot complain, man. Beautiful
Yeah?
day, man. I'm doing.
Energy's
complain,
up,
man.
spirits is up,
Energy's always up, man.
feeling in a good mood.
If it's up, it's stuck. Man.
Hey.
Remember that back in the day?
And we out for the people. We out for the people.
Mm-hmm.
You can follow us on Twitter and IG, or subscribe, excuse me, to the YouTube page at Sleep is for You. That's S.L.E.E.P.I.S, the number 4, Y-O-U. As I said before, we are now officially on YouTube, so you can watch us there, or as always, you can listen to episodes wherever you find your podcast, because wherever you are, that's where we are. Subscribe to the YouTube page, because we're trying to spread like peanut butter, show love, show hate, because we're here for it all. Tell a friend to tell 2 friends about us. And in today's episode, we'll be giving you a look into our thoughts on the massive difference in pay between the NBA and the WNBA. We'll be listing our top 5 buddy duo movies. And by the way, this is our top 5 buddy duo movies. Whenever we do a top 5, it's our top 5. It's not like the universal top 5. It's not like, yo, this is what's supposed to be the top 5. We debate the top 5. Nah, bro, this is our top 5. Got it? All right, bet. And of course, all that good sports talk that makes this the top shelf and keeps the good people tuning in. So without any further ado, let's spin. Taylor, you remember when the WNBA started?
96 or 97? I think it's 97.
It was around that time. It was around that time. I remember it was a lot of discussion because there was no technical women's basketball league. There was a lot of women who were great at basketball. You know, you got your Cheryl Millers, you got your Rebecca Lobos at that period in time. Obviously, some of the godmothers or the foremothers of the WNBA
Staley.
with Dawn Staley and Cheryl Swoops, Cynthia Cooper, Teresa Weatherspoon. They played on Team USA teams against other countries, but they just did not have their own league. They did not have their own uniform space where they could play. And that was a thing because obviously women's college basketball was going on at that point in time as well. And that was, a great entity in its own right. It didn't have the recognition and the status that it has now, obviously. But, we're talking about back in the day. And I remember when the WNBA started, it was a big deal. You know, the cities, they got teams, and they were really trying to rally around it and really trying to big it up and trying to market it the right way to get it out there to the people. And, over the course of the period in time that they've been in existence now at this point in time, which we're coming up on, I guess, about 20 years, they've grown. In certain ways, they've grown in viewership in certain ways. They've grown in notoriety in certain ways, and then just recognition in certain ways. A lot of it has to do with the different faces that have graced the league. From recently Diana Taurasi's and Sue Birds, and I remember back in the day, one of the big names when I was younger was Shamika Holdsclaw, and that's on top of the names that I was giving y'all earlier. So It's definitely grown, and I'm not saying what I'm saying to undercut or to justify what the current status or situation is with it. But we have seen some type of growth. Maybe it hasn't been as much growth as you would like to see over that period of time, but we have seen growth. And I wasn't alive when the NBA started; neither one of us was. But we were born in a period of time where it was kind of like shifting. It had shifted in the 80s with Magic and Bird coming into the league, and the stamp that they put on it and the excitement that they brought around the NBA and what they had going on with those famous Celtics-Lakers finals
rivalries. Yeah.
And then that turned into the Bad Boys getting into it, and Detroit got their couple of rings. And then obviously the '90s came around, and Michael Jordan was able to, along with the people in Chicago, was able to get the Bulls to a status where they were able to win a three-peat in '90, '91, and '92, and then do the same thing after he retired and came back. But you saw along the line all these different injections of excitement and of new life into the NBA from those '80s, like I said, Celtics and Lakers rivalries, to the '90s with Chicago Bulls, and even moving forward to more recently with Kobe Bryant getting into the league, and what him and Shaq did in L.A., with LeBron getting into the league, and what he did in Cleveland, and then his United States tour with all the different stops he's made throughout his career. And then you got Steph Curry and what they did in Golden State, and you just always had these new injections of life and of excitement into the league. And there were periods in time where things were a little dull. I remember in the late '90s and the early 2000s, it was a little shaky as far as talent. I remember dunk contests fell off, which look at where we're at now. But yeah, it's always been, well, not always been, but whenever things got too dull in the NBA, whenever I guess they felt like viewership was getting down too far, or things just weren't moving the way that business-wise they wanted it to, they were able to find some way with some player or some combination of players or some combination of competition to give things a jolt, to the point where things are where they are right now with the big media deals and everything like that. And that's a heavy contributor to the fact that these guys are making tens of millions of dollars per year. Taylor?
Well, listen, you got to start at everything. Nothing starts off as just, oh, this is the best thing in the world. You have to start off, quote unquote, at the bottom, and then you have to build your company. That's anybody that starts a company. I don't care if you start a restaurant or a tow truck service or a Mac machine company or a vending machine. You got to start with one machine. Then you'll get two. Then you'll get five. You know what I mean? So the WNBA is still within, I think they're past the 20 year mark, but they're still building. But with a couple of these girls coming in right now, these basketball players coming in, I think they need to seize an opportunity to get out there and promote the game. No disrespect to the women that came before them, they set it to a point to where it's like, listen, we're good enough to play. Like I remember when Dawn Staley was drafted. I think she was drafted like 8th overall. Mind you, she had been playing overseas for years and played on Olympic teams. So she was in her late 20s, early 30s when she got drafted in the show. So she had already been, quote unquote, playing. So now that these girls, they just had a draft this past year, people didn't even know that the females couldn't even dress like females until this past one that just came out. So now you saw them, they were all glammed up. It was like they was at the prom. All the girls looked good. They had, quote unquote, like, I hate to say it, but they had sex appeal. They looked good, whereas years before that was not allowed.
That's
so
true.
Now they're embracing, their quote unquote womanhood and stuff like that.
And I saw something about that to where it's kind of like almost like the NBA helped to usher that look in, because they've been treating the NBA like a fashion show for years.
Yeah, exactly. So the female should, if you want to have guys, Russell Westbrook looking crazy, dressing all types of holes in his shirt, then these females should be able to go out there, put the high heels on, take the sneakers off, put the high heels on, put the dress on, and look good. And I really thought that was dope. They didn't make them look any kind of way, but they just looked good when they were getting drafted. And now I think they should take what's going on right now and just keep it moving up, because right now I think people's eyes are on the WNBA. I think a lot of people are getting I don't want to say tired of the NBA. I don't think people are going to go from NBA to the WNBA, but they can get younger viewers and stuff like that. I was very, very young when Magic was about to get up out of here and Michael was on the come up and stuff like that. I was like 8 or 9 or 10 years old. So they got me as a kid. I remember the commercials. I love this game. I remember the Shaq commercials. I remember the Penny Hardaway commercials with Little Penny. I remember Spike Lee and those. So they have to do a good job of marketing these females just like the men did. You know what I mean? And then once the men did that, the game took on a life on itself, and now it is where it is right now, where these guys can make 30, 40, 50 million. I remember MJ never made that much money. MJ made like 18 million, I think, his whole career. Or not that much. Now these guys are making 18 million in the first 2-3 years, you know what I mean? Or signing bonus of 18 million. So but there was a point
And
where
that
the NBA
that
was going to go bankrupt. I'm pretty sure the NFL went through going. Remember, they had to merge with the AFL just for them to stay afloat. So
Yeah.
all these guys, all these people that had these leagues, it didn't start off we just started and we just it's up. Remember, the Major League Baseball struck at least 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean? So I think the WNBA can get on solid ground. They just have to promote the players when they have a really nice amount of players coming out this past year and the next couple of years coming up.
This is true, and with Caitlin Clark being drafted this year, and
Yeah.
Angel Reese being drafted this year, and the other girls that were included in that draft,
Yep.
that is, like I was saying earlier, one of those injections of energy and life that they're giving into the WNBA, and hopefully that will bring a whole new crop of fans and eyes to the sport.
Yeah.
And I wasn't saying what I said earlier to say that the women's basketball in any way do not deserve the money. But what I'm saying is that I saw, or I would hear over the course of the Final Four from women's basketball that this girl is projected to get this amount, or no, excuse me, when Caitlin Clark got drafted, they'd be like, okay, she her base salary is this compared to this NBA player whose salary is this.
Yeah.
And that comparison, that's just really unfair.
Yeah, it's not fair. Yeah.
It's not putting things on an equal playing field, and that's why I'm saying that I believe that they should get that money, but it has to. It can't just be given. It has to be
Earn. You're just saying earn.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you gotta take your lumps, and you gotta go through what you gotta go through to get to that space and to that status to where those people are making that money. If you look at players that from the NBA that played back in the 70s and the 80s, a lot of those are old haters, and they're mad because a lot of these players nowadays are getting the money that they're making.
Off. Yeah, them guys back in the day, they had to work second jobs. So after they left the
court, they had to go to the factory.
They had to go to the factory. They had to go
punch that clock.
FedEx or whatever, UPS, and work them jobs. To work that. It wasn't. And remember, they was on buses. They wasn't on private jets like that, and they had to fly charter flights. I think these females, they're upset that they're flying charter flights. Eventually, the people that set the foreground right now, they're not going to reap the benefits, 20 years from now. That's for the next girl. So these girls have to let it know, like, I want to go out here. I want to promote myself. I want to get a deal with Maybelline. I want to get a deal with Nike. I want to get a deal with anything, an orange juice company, or one of these powered, these energy drinks. And that'll bring more eyes to the game. And then, these sponsors will be like, well, I want to put $1 billion toward this or something like that. Or one of these streaming channels, I want to put $1 billion to put 15, 20 games on this channel. I think it's possible. They just have to keep
mess
going
around
up.
and start seeing them WNBA players everywhere, and you see them on all kind of commercials and advertisements and being spokespeople for things and stuff like that. That will help bring eyes and awareness to what they got going on too, which will help to bring the media dollars, which will help to bring that more money that they want and they should definitely get and deserve.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and Taylor was saying when we was talking offline that he actually believes that NBA players get paid a little too much.
They get paid too much, man. Don't compare the NBA players to how much they get paid. Those guys are you saw what Pat Beverly just would do. Pat Beverly's trash, and he's throwing balls at people on the he's a spoiled, like some of these guys they're just spoiled.
Pat's not trash.
Yeah, Pat's awful. For him to be throwing a ball into the crowd, like if Dame Lillard would have did it, okay, cool. You know what I mean? But you gotta have some clout.
Yeah.
He's a bum. You know what I mean?
Did you see what Pat Bev did at the interview? They was interviewing him post game,
and the girl was saying, talking about, are you subscribed to the channel?
And he asked the girl if she was subscribed to his podcast, and she said no. And he said, okay, you can't ask me any questions. They went to the next person.
Who are you? Like, now if Jokic would have did that, or Bradley Beal, I'm not even talking about guys that got championship. They got some skin in the game. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But bro, but a lot of, like I said, I think a lot of these people are getting tired of the NBA players. They are complaining. You look at Russell Westbrook. People call him West Brick, and and he's upset. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you shouldn't be shouting things that should be,
Obscenities.
Obscenities, talking about the kids like that. But if you're getting trolled and you're getting millions, I don't care about it. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to about me. I'm going home to a $30 million check. Yeah, you should be able to suck that up. You know what I mean? But that's how much these guys are getting paid.
Tougher skin.
So I think a lot of they got to get tougher skin. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I know you've been baby since you were like 9, 10, 11 years old when you was in AAU picking your team and stuff like that. But now these guys are overpaid. And these guys are like, they're just. I get it. Like, I don't like this team. I want to get traded. Like back in the day, you had to rock out with your team forever.
You had to ride it out.
Yeah, I mean,
until they decided they wanted to let you go.
Don't you think Reggie Miller wanted to go to another team, but he had to stay in Indiana?
That might not be the best argument because Reggie was an Indiana guy.
He was good, but don't you think he was like, dang man, that team over there looked good, but they rocked it out. But now these guys could just basically go to the owner and say, you know what, I don't want to play for this team, and I'm not going to, and I'm just going to sit on the bench until you trade me. Like they couldn't do that back in the night, but now these guys can because these guys are getting paid so much money that they can just pretty much do whatever the hell they want to do. Well, Maxey can walk into the we love Maxey. He can go into Daryl Morey office. I want to be traded to LeBron. And he would just be another one of these guys that just ask for it. He can do that. He won't do it. I don't think he'll do it.
It might not get done, but he can make the request.
He can do that, and then it'll probably get done, unfortunately. But these guys are overpaid. So I don't like when they compare the female salary to the men's salary. The men's, these guys, it's out of control. And it's only going to go more up because I think the NBA deal is up for either ESPN or TNT. Yep. And that NBC, they about to drop like a $3 or $4 million bag to offer the NBA to bring it back to NBC. Mm-hmm, you know what I mean? So
and TNT might mess around and lose their situation.
My favorite theme song about to come back. Listen, man. But that's what they're offering. You know what I mean? They're offering it. It's what you're worth, and that's what these TV station they think because they know we buy into that, we're going to get all types of free advertisement. So the $1 billion we spend, we're going to get that back 10 times fold within a year or two or something like that. So getting back to the WNBA, they have to keep promoting these players. They have to do a better job of not just promoting quote unquote Caitlin Clark, but promote Angel Reese, promote Cardoza, promote Paige Becker when she comes in. What's the other girl named? Cameron. I think her name is Cameron Brink. Promote all these girls that got drafted, and then and of course the Sky Diggins and stuff like that, and the Maya Moore and the Leah Boston. Promote these girls that have been in the NBA for the past 5 or 10 years. Even if you got to cross do them in the NBA All-Star game like they did with the other girl. I forget that girl's name. She was in the 3-point contest with Steph Curry. You might do Sabrina. You have to do more, more of that to, hey man, we're females. We want to be a part of this so we can get our quote unquote dollars up to where y'all going to be offering us a bunch of money to watch our game 10, 15 years from now. But they got to start right now while the eyes are on them right now.
And you know what else they got to do?
What's that?
They got to expand.
Yeah.
The NBA expanded a few times. Mm-hmm. The WNBA has 12 teams in it right now.
Yeah.
The NBA has 30 or 32? 30 teams.
Mm-hmm.
So that's almost double. So
they had a team in Vancouver,
you got to get more markets.
Christ's sake.
You got to get in more cities. You got to get the excitement going from more areas around what you got going on. And I mean, it can be done.
They've been talking about a WNBA team coming to Philly for the last couple of years.
They have.
They have to just keep expanding.
Bring them on. I'll go to the games. I'll go check them out, see what they got going on, no doubt.
Yeah, but I think it's possible. They just have to, like I said, they're in the first 30 years of this business that's supposed to last, for a very long time. So they just have to promote their players, do what they got to do. We all love women. We all wouldn't be here without women. So we want the women to do well. But I don't think they should be just, here, take this money and give it to you. No, y'all can, if y'all keep climbing this uphill battle, y'all be able to get to where y'all want.
What that's a symptom of? This microwave society we live in, where it's like you get it today and you got it tomorrow. Like it's wild, and people think that people just come up overnight and things just happen fast, and it's not that way.
No,
it's got to be progressive. It's got to be a progression. You know what I'm saying? And they say you get things fast, easy come, easy go.
Yeah.
The things that come and are gradual are the things that are lasting, and the things that can stay, and can be consistent for a long period of time to come. You give somebody money real fast, they win the lottery. 9 times out of 10, they blow through it.
Yeah.
But if you gradually build up your millions or your billions or however it is you get to it, then it's a little easier to lose it all at once.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's my understanding. I don't got the millions and billions yet, but, we'll see what happens. Anywho, anything else you had to say about that situation, Taylor?
No,
WNBA, NBA pay scale?
that's pretty much it. Oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna get at some of you females trying to get at guys talking about female basketball. I don't like that because we have females talking about NFL football, NFL basketball. So guys can talk about female sports. Like I don't start that.
That's
Don't
true.
don't
That's true.
don't
Don't tell the dudes
yeah, don't
that
do that.
they can't stick their noses
Yeah.
into the sports conversation
Exactly.
because
Y'all females can't play
there's
no
inclusion
basketball,
across the
just like
board.
we can't play females can't play male sport. We can't play the female sport. So don't be trying to criticize. Oh, y'all guys shouldn't be. I saw that a couple weeks ago. Oh, now y'all trying to talk. I was like, well, what are y'all doing? You know what I mean, so don't do
Like,
that.
what are we talking about right now? What do you want?
Yeah.
Because we talking about inclusion. We talking about
Yeah.
people being able to do the same types of things. So if it's one way, then it's got to be the other way.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's just what it is. That just makes common sense, at least to me. So, getting out of that, man, I'm upset, man.
Upset about what?
You know what? I can't even say I'm upset because this has been like in the making for like a little while.
Yeah.
We were talking, previously about the beef that's going on right now, and how it's kind of like Canada versus the world with Drake trying to take on all these people.
Yeah.
And who threw their name in the hat that really got on my nerves? Kanye West.
Oh, Mr. West. Yeah.
Now, he's had his back and forth things with Drake back in the day.
Yeah.
I can't even say back in the day because it was pretty recent. They've had their little jabs here and jabs there, and talking about each other in social media and the memes. And of course, Kanye goes to his concerts and on his rants and talks about whatever he talks about. But I'm just sick of my man. Like he talked too much.
Mm-hmm.
He talked too much, and he don't care what comes out his mouth. He just lets it go. Just word vomit. He just lets it go. And it's like, yo, when you get to a point where that's what it is, and you just say whatever comes to mind, and you don't give no thought to it, and you'll say something and then apologize for the same thing that you just said like 2 weeks later, like, oh man, this is happening too regularly, and it got me to thinking. One of my favorite Kanye West albums is Late Registration, and I haven't listened to it in that really recently, but I'm wondering if I would listen to it the same right now, considering how I'm developing these feelings for this guy, as far as him just being out of left field, like regularly. I almost couldn't come up with a word to describe it because it's just
He's been off his rocker for a long time, and I haven't really.
Then he wants to blame it on the mental health, and he wants to blame it on his chemical imbalance, and he wants to blame it because he's not properly medicated or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, bro, you'll say anything to get anybody to feel any way. You're a manipulator, and I don't appreciate manipulators, man. I don't like it. It's not cool. So that got me to thinking, can greatness be tainted after the fact?
Mm-hmm.
And that is the deeper question that we are discussing at the moment. Because I don't know if I would listen to his old albums the same. Like I said, I haven't gave him spins in a little while, but I don't know. And that's a strong thing, bro. Because I don't know about everybody else, but I'm bonded with my music. Like the stuff that I listen to is like real to me. It's personal to me. It means something to me. And when I connect with something, it's like it's like bliss. It's like the perfect thing as far as that goes. Because I listen to music in the car, I listen to music at the crib, I listen to music at work. Like it is with you wherever you can take it, pretty much. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. Taylor, what you think?
Well, first of all, don't. Well, I'll do it to the everyday aspect of
Maybe
life.
you could talk me off the ledge.
So I knew somebody I used to work with, and they found out that their deceased father had children out of wedlock with someone else. So he was kind of like fighting with the battle, like, well, my dad raised me, but he had children and I didn't know this. So it kind of like he thought it
He
was
was kind of second guessing his pop, like.
But his dad was going by what he told me. He did everything for him, made sure he had sneakers and stuff like that, took care of his mom and stuff like that. But there were some things in the background that he did that that he probably, but he didn't find out until after he passed away.
Yeah.
So what you can do is, well, not what you can do is if he took care of you and he was a great man for you, you could put him in that space to where he did what he's supposed to do. Was he perfect? No. And everybody, like I said, some of these, now we'll get back to Kanye. He's not, he's a celebrity. He's not perfect. And then the one thing about my father, he told me was, don't idolize, don't, the false idolization, like people that are like famous and stuff like that, don't do that, because these people don't know you, they don't care about you. So when you see them on TV, when you listen to their music, take them for what their work is, and then what they do behind the scenes, that ain't got nothing to do with you and stuff like that. We got my man Robert Kelly. He's in jail right now. You know what I mean? Because of what he did. Now, do I still listen to his music? Absolutely. Do I agree with what he did? No. Does Kanye West bother me? Yes. But does what's the album I liked back in the day? The Beautiful Dark Twisted. That's my joint. So I'll still listen to his music. Yes, he's a goofball. He's corny. But I don't, like I said, I don't want to meet these people. I don't want to know these people. Like I said, some of these people are very, very, nice people. Some of these people are just out of their mind. They're in the quote unquote Holly weird world. Kind of what we just heard someone talk about that. Cat Williams. They're living this false life where everyone's giving them everything. Yes, you're great. Yes, you're this. Like, I remember Kanye was saying he was great, and I was like, bro, yeah, I mean, you good, but he was trying to say he was better than Michael. I was like,
recently Kanye said he's God.
No. Well, he was. Well, I was.
And he said he's the new Jesus.
Once he started talking about he was better than Michael Jackson. This is before he said Jesus. I said, bro, now you going too far. Now that's why to cut him loose, because he'll just say anything and nobody will quote unquote check him. So, getting back to like the everyday life, the people that help you grow up, that help you become a man or help you become a good person. No. Those are the people that you want to put your energy into. Make, my dad was really, really good. Or my sister or my uncle. Those are people that you want to put that energy into. These people, they're great. The people that are out there on TV, they're insane. You don't know what they're doing. They could be sniffing coke. You don't know what these people are doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So take them as face value of what they are, and idolize, other people that in your family, would be a pastor at church or something like that, or
sometimes,
or anything.
As you know, he talks like he's on that powder.
Yeah. He does. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't take anything like when people get on TV and starts. I don't believe them. I just don't. Like, that nigga, he's lying. You know what I mean? Like,
they saying it for the clout.
Now, the other people that you live day to day and you see, they might be lying to you too, but you know them. You like, all right, well, you know what I mean? That might be cap what you talking about. But so always just, take people as face value of what they are, and don't ever put them on the quote unquote pedestal. You know what I mean?
Keep them off the pedestal.
Yeah, like I said, Kanye, he's made great millions, and that'll never be taken away from him. But is he a guy that you want to a leader or something like? No, he's goofy. I mean, like he's probably always been goofy. You know what I mean? But now, goofy. Now it's just coming out.
Just being more exposed.
You know what I mean? So always take people for face value for what they are. That's pretty much all I can say about that aspect in the Mr. West.
I got you.
Man was doing gospel albums a couple of years ago.
That's a fact.
And now he's on this new track talking about all types of sex with women and doing threesomes, eating shit. I said, oh, brother, what happened to God? You know what I mean? Because I was feeling the God. So I was like, all right, I like these albums where there's just no curse words. And his last album, he's just talking reckless. And then he did an interview basically saying that, what has God done for me? I said, oh, this guy's a clown.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So
wow.
I don't. You know what I mean? So this guy, he'll say anything, and he's just probably just a pathological liar. He'll just say anything just to get whatever it is that makes him what he is. I don't really pay no mind to him at all.
That's a sad story, man. That's a sad state of affairs.
Yeah.
But that's that man. And no, I will not call you Ye.
Yeah.
You are Kanye.
Yeah, that's what my mama called you, Kanye.
Mama call you Kanye. I'm gonna call you Kanye.
Exactly. That's your name, and that's what you are.
Is there anyone else who you feel like you did hold them in a certain light, and they did something that kind of tainted their legacy in your eyes?
Nah, not like I said. I'm like I said. I've said this before on the show. I'll say it now. I'm not a fan of anybody, because fan is short for fanatic. I'm not a fanatic of anybody. Like, I'm a fan of me.
You have said that.
I'm a fan of people around me, but the people that I don't know. So I've never, I remember my dad telling me as a kid, like, you got Michael Jordan up on your wall, but let it be known who paid for this house. And I'm like, oh, that's you, Pop. You know what I mean?
Let the bills come up a little short. Mike ain't helping.
You know what I mean? So when I was growing up, there there was no Superman, Batman. I love all those guys, but my dad was my hero. You know what I mean? So
I hear
you guys have to, not God, but people have to realize, you know, you look up to the people that actually help you, that touch you in a chance. The people on TV, they gonna do what they do. They got their tap dancing shoes on. They're here to entertain you and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And that's what they gonna do.
And don't
So,
twist that up. Don't twist up entertainment with
Yeah.
with worship and believing that you
Yeah.
should, you know, strive to necessarily want to be these people. Like
yeah, I don't.
they're regular people just like you. They do a lot of the same things you do. They might do it on a higher level or
Yeah.
have more bread or whatever the case may be. But
and I'm not saying they all trash or bums.
that's not what I'm saying.
I mean,
either.
they just,
I'm
you know,
saying
just
that
take
you,
a
you
take
gotta,
it,
gotta keep things in their proper
take them
perspective.
at face value, and you know the people that you're around and stuff like that. Those are the people that you want to give your quote unquote energy to be like, you know, I want to ride with this person. This is the person that I love, and this is the person that I want to do stuff for, as opposed to paying for, you know, all this money to go see these people at a concert for 2-3 hours and they go to the next town, and you can get at the auntie or something like that, or a grandma, you know what I mean, a pop or something. Buy him some new shoes and he'll give you a hug. You know what I mean? Thank you, I love you so much. You know what I mean? You buy Kanye West tickets, he won't even piss on you. If he was on fire, you know what I mean? So unfortunately, that's what it is, man. You know what I mean? So I was never really into quote unquote idolizing people. Don't get me wrong, I love music too, but I don't, you know what I mean? Some of these people, like I take them as a grain of salt, you know what I mean? So I'm not surprised when I hear people just going off I say, well, you know, they've been in that life getting all that money. You know, what is that to me?
Well, you know what? You're right, and I appreciate that. And you did kind of talk me off the ledge. I feel a little better about the situation. I think I might check out maybe College Dropout in the next couple of days. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, I go through stages where I want
Late
to hear some
Registration was a
older
good
stuff.
album.
Oh yeah,
That was a dope album.
Late Registration is my Kanye classic. Like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was
That was
dope.
dope.
Graduation was dope. College Dropout was dope.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm talking about older albums because I didn't really make the shift once, you know, we moved on to Yeezus and certain other things. Life of Pablo was all right. You know, some of the more recent stuff he dropped was pretty solid. But
Yeah.
but my man he's off the handle.
He's a goof
off the
troop,
handle.
man, but I don't
And
know.
but you know what? I'm not gonna let his personal stuff affect my appreciation for the music. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's what matters.
Absolutely.
It's what I get out of it. Now I hate to say it like that. It's about me and what I get, but in this particular instance, it is. Because with him, it's about what he get. So we got handle things accordingly. Stay out the trick bag. Anywho, now we've talked about movies. We've talked about me and Taylor's affinity and appreciation for movies, and that's just kind of what that is. That's how that goes. So, with that being said, some of our segments will end up being dedicated to movies, and that is going to apply today. And for our additional top 5 for this week's episode, we will be discussing our top 5 buddy duo movies. So that's like a movie where there's, you know, a twosome of guys that's who you kind of deal with throughout the course of the movie. Interestingly enough, you know what just came to me?
What's that?
Shawshank Redemption was kind of a buddy movie.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Because you had Morgan Freeman's character and,
Tim Robbins.
yes, Tim Robbins'
Tim
character.
Robbins, who won an Oscar for that, yep.
Yeah.
Tim Robbins is in my list.
We was talking about Belly earlier. That was kind of like a buddy duo movie. 'Cause you
Yeah,
had,
in a sense, yeah.
In
Nas
a
and
weird
DMX.
way. Yeah, Nas and DMX.
That can count as a buddy movie, absolutely, yes.
You know, there's tons of them. And cutting them down to 5 is very difficult. Let me tell you. But we did it. So this week we're gonna right now we're gonna get into listing those off. And do you want to one off these, or do you just want to go
No, just go
me and then you?
all the way down the list and I'll do mine. Absolutely.
There we go. All right. Well, at number 5 on my list, I'm gonna take it to what I feel like. Actually, all these movies on my list I feel like are classics, so I can't single one out. But this is from the early 2000s, like mid 2000s, I believe. It starred 2 guys that have worked together a few times since this movie and once or twice before it. But it is called All About the Benjamins, and that stars Ice Cube and Mike Epps. And if you haven't seen it, it's about a guy who's essentially kind of like a con man, I shouldn't call him a con man. He's a hustler. He's out there trying to get to the bread however he can and trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how to make it happen. He don't got a regular job. He stays with his girl. His girl is a waitress in a diner, and they try to make it happen. His girl plays the lotto. He went and paid for the ticket. The lottery hit. They won, but he lost the ticket. So he goes through the trials and tribulations that he has to go through to get that ticket back. And of course, him being a hustler and doing what he does, he maybe has a warrant out for his arrest. So there's a bounty hunter on his behind, and that's Ice Cube.
Yep.
And,
Book him.
yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the movie, man. But it's a funny one, you know, just watching what they go through. You got a young Eva Mendes in it. You got a bunch of lines and quotables and one-liners all over it. So that's one of the big things that stand out.
Snatch that leather wig off your motherfucking head.
Them suede sideburns.
Suede sideburns. Like, yo, man, please. Like, please stop, man. We gonna fuck you up, man.
And keep in mind, like I said, we 80s babies, so we in our 30s, and it's certain movies that's gonna fall into our wheelhouse. And, you know, we're hoping that a good percentage of our listeners / watchers and viewers will be in that same kind of range, but we're not age discriminating in any way, shape, or form. And on that note, I'm gonna move to number 4. Number 4 is what they would say a mixed duo. It's a buddy cop movie around the time where it was a few buddy cop movies coming out, but it's called Cop Out, and that stars Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan. And you would think on his face that they're a interesting combination to put together. It might not make a whole lot of sense, but it works. And they're both hilarious. And Bruce Willis with being his serious self, and Tracy Morgan with being like kind of like the comedy relief or like the comedic aspect that comes to it. And even they switched that up a little bit. Like at certain points in the movie where Tracy Morgan is dead serious. His wife in the movie is played by the lovely, what's Shorty's name?
I don't think I ever
Rashida
saw
Jones.
Oh, okay.
And throughout the course of the movie, he's like insecure about their marriage, and he feels like she might be cheating on him and stuff like that. So it's point in the movie where he's very serious because he's like, "Yo, you cheating on me?" And she's like, "Nah, baby, I love you." You know what I'm saying? It's us, we together. And so that's kind of like a little subplot in the movie. But overall, I would say it's a funny watch. So that's my number 4.
Cop Out. Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan.
Yes, sir. So number 3, I'm gonna take it to one that's a little further back from me and Taylor. I believe this came out like 97 or 98. But we saw it in the movie theater. I remember it vividly. We went together with a couple of our friends. I think my pops was there.
Either my pop or your dad.
Salute
I
to
can't
my
remember.
pops. Somebody's pops.
Somebody's
was there.
dad was there. Yeah.
Maybe both pops was there, but it was a great time, and it's a hilarious movie to this day. They came out with 2 more since, and I think they're working on another one. But it is Rush Hour, starring Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker.
$50 million. Who the hell you think you kidnapped Chelsea Clinton? That's hilarious, man. His face. When he grabbed the bull, I'm gonna need one of them things in my ear. Thank you, man. He just tapped him on his back. Yo, it was just like, you know, that was ad-lib. Like, he just ad-libbed.
Yeah,
that.
he just threw that in, and they was like, you know, we're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that cut. We're gonna keep that edit.
Yo, man, that was crazy. There's some greasy shit, man. What is this? Chinese food, not soul food.
How you gonna sell me a box of grease?
Oh my goodness, man, that movie is just nuts, man.
I'm no punk bitch. Yo, June Tao. Push the button. Yo, that joint is classic.
That movie dope, man. I love that movie.
The
man.
OG, I think that the first one is the best one, but the second one definitely didn't disappoint either. The third one, it had funny parts.
I think I saw all those in the theaters, though, man. But yeah, that
I saw the first 2 in theaters. The third one I saw on DVD.
yeah, the first one's funny though.
The first one is classic
because you didn't know what you was going.
Yeah, you didn't really know what it was going to be.
Wait, little girl, this is my brand new suit. Your mama brand new suit. Man, get your hands off my suit. I see you dinner on Sunday. I'm the law around here. And clean this shit up and brush your teeth. Come on, let's go.
MC Hammer Daddy, put the gun down. Put the gun down.
Yeah, my man's hilarious in that movie. Man. I don't care what no one says, man.
No doubt.
Chris
no
Tucker
doubt.
was the man.
Yeah. So
James Carter.
That's my number 3, James Carter,
Detective
G14 classified.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna get to number 2. Number 2 is a movie. They say it was loosely based on another guy who was fighting at this point in time. He was a guy who was very particular about his record, and that was one of the common themes in this particular movie. But the movie is called I Spy.
Oh.
And it is the more recent one that stars Owen Wilson and Eddie Murphy. And I can watch that movie 10 times and laugh every time at the same corny stuff that's in it, because it's real corny, it's real, like, it's kind of cheesy, but it's funny. And just the interaction between Eddie Murphy and Owen Wilson and the one-liners that's from that movie are hilarious too, man. It makes me laugh just sitting here thinking about it. But that's my number 2. Taylor, are you familiar?
I've seen it before.
You've
yeah,
seen it, but it's not up there for you.
I mean, I'm not going to hate on your movie. Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
so that's for you, man.
I've
seen it before, though.
I appreciate you reserving your hate. That was very kind of you. And I'm gonna round out my list with number 1. And I talked about these 2 guys earlier. They were in various movies together, and this one is the 3rd iteration of this movie, the 2nd time that they were in it together. But it's gonna be Friday After Next, man. Friday After Next is like my top tier, top echelon buddy duo movie. And to prove that, I actually watch Friday After Next every year on Christmas Eve. True story. But yeah, that's my joint, man. From the beginning, when the police came after the house got robbed, Officer A-Hole and B Dix got a big pile of dog shit back there in your bed.
When Molly and the Pops was slapping each other in the donut, that say so good, make it slap your mommy, slap me. What the fuck wrong with you? the way Pops looked at you.
Sorry, buddy.
Sorry, buddy. This reaction, that was crazy, yo.
We was talking about Cat Williams on a previous episode. This was I think this was the first appearance of him being in the movie, playing Money Mike.
Hold up,
he
wait a
role.
minute, let me put some pimping in it.
Oh,
Hilarious,
play. You might want your blade back. Yeah, never know. I need that.
Might need
Might
that.
need to shave myself. Might need to shave somebody else. Never know.
Hey, you want to come to the party? I was just going to go home, get drunk, and watch the Grinch. I'll be hilarious, man.
Yo, man, Friday After Next is so many lines in that. So much comedy and comedic genius that came from that movie. And so many great comedians in the movie, from Cat Williams to Mike Epps to DC Don Curry to John Witherspoon to...
Said Don DC Curry?
Yeah, that's what I said. Even Terry Crews is
Crews, one of his first speaking roles.
His comedy in that movie was
Clifton
a big
Powell,
thing.
Pinky.
Yeah, Clifton Powell. Merry Christmas, Jingle Bells. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But that's
The DW, what I tell you about driving like that, man? I thought it was a dog.
You hit that boy. Almost made me spill my yak. But yeah,
When
man,
Cat was in the bathroom and Damon walked in, nigga, I'll be done in a minute. I was like, yo, I'm done.
Working with a monster.
He put his I'll be done like, bro. Anybody walk to the bathroom while your pants is down, I'm done in a minute. It's not going to work. They already know what they're going to do. Like, that was crazy.
Wow,
Unbelievable.
But shit, that's gonna round out my list and be my number 1 movie for my top 5 buddy duo movies. So I'm gonna swing it over to Taylor so he can give you his.
Number 5, it's got Martin Lawrence in it, but it's not the one you think. I'm gonna go with number 5, Nothing to Lose, with him. And I said earlier, Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins, that's a good one. That's a real good one.
Martin Lawrence is some type of petty thief, and then the white guy thinks his wife is cheating on him or something like that.
So
he just goes for a drive, and then Martin gets in that car with that gun. Welcome to hell, bitch. I was like, first of all, he got in the car, like, you didn't hear the door close or open. He just
no,
your keys.
You didn't hear it open. You just heard it close. You just heard the go when it closed.
And it just
put the gun up to him.
gun on the screen. That movie is classic, man.
That movie is definitely
Took my
classic.
man down to Arizona and kidnapped him.
A young Giancarlo Esposito was in there.
Oh man, your Giancarlo Esposito, man. You want a cookie? Here's a cookie. Until when he took the gun and when he shot the car and shot all the bullets, I was like, Martin, stop, man. It was just the movie.
Get in the car, Nick.
Get in the car, ride him, cowboy. Like Martin was just crazy in that movie, man. I give y'all, I won't turn you in if you take me back. Take me back. Like it was just so funny, man. Like the movie was crazy, man.
And the gun he held my man up with ain't had no bullets.
Exactly. He said, at 5, I gave it to the waitress. That's all I had. He robbed the nigga out in the middle of nowhere. Nothing to Lose is crazy.
I got it. Jason freaking killer.
I got it on DVD, man. That's how good the movie is.
Yeah,
like if
man,
I got it on DVD,
that
that means I went out and bought it, man. So that movie's classic. That's my number 5, man. So number 5 is nothing to lose. Number 4. The Rock's first starring role in The Rundown. Yo, man.
No, I don't think was that first.
That's his first. So he was in movies before, but that's the first time he starred. He was the main guy in the movie.
Was that first or was Walking Tall first?
Well, Walking Tall was after that. Yeah, because the first couple movies he did was from Vince. I think Vince McMahon either produced him or executive produced him. So Rundown
with him and Sean
William Scott. He goes down to the jungle to bring him back, and they go into the jungle, and it's just pure pandemonium, and The Rock is getting his behind whipped, and it's a funny movie, man.
Young Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson in it, and the bull that was doing all the karate moves in the what's the name?
My man Desert.
That's
Poppy?
I forget his name. Well, that's Keno from Turtles 2. Remember the pizza boy? You know what I mean?
No, I remember that.
The same boy. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
He's man. That movie, The Rundown, is hilarious, man.
That's a solid joint though.
They hit that man with a big ass 2x4.
My man Christopher Walken was in there.
Christopher Walken in there, yeah. But at the ending scene where he said, "I don't use guns," but once he started using them guns, he never shot anybody, but he was lighting up their whole joint. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a classic movie for me, man.
Yeah,
So The Rundown. I remember when I first saw it, I wasn't expecting it to be that good because we went to the movies for free to see it, and I just remember it just being an action-packed movie, and I thought Rock was kind of like a natural. Now here we are, 20+ years later, he's still acting in movies. You know
still
what I
getting
mean?
paper.
Yeah, so yeah, The Rundown. That's my number 4. That's just a classic movie. Number 3 is White Man Can't Jump. I mean, come on, man.
I had to fight myself not to put that on my list.
No, man, I had to put that on
White
my
Man
list.
Can't Jump. The original.
That movie, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right.
With Wesley Snipes.
The one that came out last year
Harrison.
was not
came
good.
out one last year with what's my man's name?
Jack Harlow and the Bull from Power.
And
nah, man, the original is
the original can't be touched. It can't be moved out of its spot. It is like.
Yeah, it's just too classic, man. Yo, well, you got that big Z in your fro, man. The movie is just crazy. Oh man, shut up, man. Don't be good. Billy Ho. Like, I love that movie.
I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone. They're pissed off, and I'm in the zone.
Yo, man, I love that movie, man. That movie is crazy. Yo, this is too easy. This shit is too easy. Cause I'm done. You know what I mean? I'm going home. Like, yo,
I don't want to play no more. I'm done.
Yo, man, that movie is just crazy, man. Like, it's a very, very well written script. What's the bull name that robbed him with the gun?
Raymond.
Is that you? Shit off your
Take that off your head. No, it's not me.
Yo, man, that movie is crazy.
Give me $200 for this gun.
Yo,
I give you 50.
I give you 50 or something like that. Yeah, that movie's crazy. So I can always watch that movie. That's my number 3 on the list. I love that movie.
Go to my car, get my spare gun, kill everybody's ass.
Yeah. So number 2. I'm sorry, man. I was doing this list in honor of it, but then I was going to take it all. But I was like, no, I got to put Bad Boys in, man. The first one, man. I'm sorry, man. So I got Martin on my list twice. You know what I mean? Yeah, but come on, come on, man.
That's a great one.
Martin,
man.
You look real handsome today. Nah, man. Today's not the effing day, man. Leave me the fuck alone.
Sure, you pay your baby? Nah. Damn the jokes.
Damn the jokes, man. Damn the jokes. Got me frowned like a fucking chimp up on. Got my babies up in there. Like, Martin was crazy in that movie, man.
He did his thing, man.
Reckless, man. When he dropped the fries, he said, Get it? I'm sorry, like that.
I can't get my hand down in there. You got an engineering fluid.
Dan, you're a big Popeye chicken eating motherfucker. Passenger 57. Now give
Wesley
me
Snipes.
motherfucker please. And like, yo, like Martin was just perfect in that movie, man.
Yeah,
It's
man.
crazy. It's crazy, man. Like, yeah, so that's my number 2. I remember when I first saw that movie, I think it just got on HBO. Because I remember it came out the year before.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I saw it, I said, oh, why did I not go to the movies to see this, man? So that movie's perfectly written, and I'm glad that they kept it going and stuff like that. They got the 4th one coming out this summer, so yeah.
Hey, Taylor, give me some tropical fruit bubblicious.
And some Skittles. He said, man, I don't understand. Do you just attract violent people? Because he's just talking about the ice cream. Like, Martin is just done. Like, I can't take this no more. I got kids, and you got me getting guns pulled on me.
Trying to get me killed out here. I'm trying to get home to my babies.
You the one that grabbed the slow-ass ice cream truck. That's a dime bomb. Could I add this to your body count? Like, oh, my God. That movie's crazy, man. Like, this movie is crazy.
Start to finish.
It's supposed to be an action movie, but they're just making you laugh.
It's a comedy.
I can't.
It's an action comedy.
Action comedy, but they can't do it no better than that.
Yeah. It don't
May I
get no
help
better
you?
than that.
Well, I should be able to get a good look too. It'd be a good look. You fly a bullet over in bullet over in our ass. Martin was just crazy in that movie. Everything just had a response. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my number 2. But my number 1 this is my personal favorite. I love this movie. I know everyone loves House Party, but the thing is about when House Party first came out. It came out in 1990. I was only like 5 or 6 years old. So fast forward a couple years later, Kid and Play do another movie called Class Act. Oh my God, man. Wedge? He said, what's a wedge? That's a wedge. My money, man. My man pulled out the gun. He grabbed the gun and threw him out the building.
Duncan Pender Hughes.
Man. Dad, this is Blade. He said, Dad. He said, your name Blade.
Oh, Blade
That's
Brown.
your name? Dad, is that yours? Like the movie's just crazy, man. Like the movie, you don't hit on a girl. You be hitting on a bitch. Like yo, this movie is just crazy, man. But I love the movie. They switch places. Blade's got to be a good kid to get his grades up. Duncan's got to do good grades for Blade so he don't go back to jail. And the movie is just nuts. The high school is crazy. Salute to Dougie Doug. He's the popsicle. He's the friend. Salute to Tommy as Mink. My name's Mink. Like, just the perfect villain in that movie. You know what I mean? Just terrible. Got the kids selling drugs and stuff like that, man. Oh man, I love that movie. I can watch Class Act and just laugh throughout the whole movie, and it's just hilarious, man. So that's my number 1, because as a little 6-7-year-old kid, that made me like, I was like, oh, I'm watching a movie with 2 guys that was in House Party. I was kind of too young about it, but House Party was rated R, and Class Act was PG-13, and it was hilarious, man. So that's my number 1. That's my personal favorite. I love Class Act. You know what I mean? So yes.
All right, bet. Any honorable mentions you want to throw in? I definitely have some.
I had Dumb and Dumber. That was a good movie. I liked
Dumb and Dumber, definitely.
That was nuts. Tommy Boy with Spade and Farley. That was a good movie.
Okay.
I like that one a little bit better than Black Sheep. And I also put in The Last Boy Scout. That was that was cutting on the floor. You know what I mean? That was nuts. That movie was crazy.
Speaking of Bruce Willis, I'll throw in Die Hard with a Vengeance with him and Samuel L.
Samuel, yep.
That's one of my favorite ones of that particular series as far as Die Hard goes. And then another one I think is slept on is a little older joint. It's called Double Take with Eddie Griffin and Orlando Jones. Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that's a funny one.
That's a good movie. That was a good movie. Freddie Tiffany.
Salute to my man.
No slit smoke liquor.
He did look like the uncle from the Fresh Prince.
Yo, man, that movie was funny. That's a good movie, man. That movie was funny.
Man, definitely. Mm-hmm. But that's gonna do it for our edition of Top 5 for this week. And y'all
got any ideas? Y'all can throw some in the comments.
No doubt. Anything y'all feel like y'all putting y'all top 5, shoot it in the comments. Let us know. Mm-hmm. We would love to see it. See if it's something that we would agree with, something that we would like.
Absolutely.
Something that we've seen. Another one I like that I forgot to throw in that I just want to say real quick is a Western. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid.
Oh yeah. Old school,
Robert Redford and Paul Newman. Definitely an old school joint, black and white movie. Mm-hmm. But that's one of my joints. Oh, and I gotta say this one because I just saw that they might be coming out with another one soon. Boondock Saints.
Oh yeah,
Cult classic.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I did hear they were doing a third one. Okay, the
I
first
saw
one was dope.
I saw the first one on DVD.
The second was better than
I
the
saw the
first one.
second one in the movie theater when it came out. So the
Mhm.
third one, if they do come out with a third one, I'm on it.
I got you. That's a slept-on movie. That movie was good.
No doubt, no doubt. That's kind of like a comedy with my man Daryl from The Walking Dead before he was Daryl. But yeah, so that's gonna close out our top 5, and we're gonna end this week's episode since we kind of go in alternating order with Mike's Minutes. And for Mike's Minutes, for my message for y'all this week, it's kind of something that's been speaking to me over the past couple of weeks, and what really pushed us to get back into this and get back into the swing of things is just the idea of staying the course, man. Yo, things are rarely just going to be smooth sailing and just going to go in a straight line to where you can get to your destination with no problems, no hiccups, no bumps, no speed bumps, no detours, none of that. Like, it's going to be ups, it's going to be downs, it's going to be lefts, rights, ins and outs. You know what I'm saying? You're going to feel like sometimes that it don't make sense to go forward. You don't see the way, you don't know the way, but if you can keep moving, if you can keep trudging, if you can keep walking, if you can keep pushing, that's what I'm trying to tell you to do right now. Just stay the course, because you never know. I'm sure we've all seen that meme with my man, and he's digging for the gold, and he gives up, and he's turning around, going back, and the other bull's digging, and he keeps going, and he's going to get to it because he keeps going. And that's ultimately what it's all about, man. Like Larry June say, keep going. Mm-hmm. You got to believe in yourself, and if you got to motivate yourself, if you the only motivation you got, that's the only motivation you need until you can get more. Sometimes you got to, the biggest person you can convince is yourself, and once you're convinced that you know you can do it and you got your head in it, everybody else will fall in line. So that's going to be my message, my Mike's Minutes for y'all this week. Again, as always, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and checking out what we got to talk about, what we got to blab about, and what we got to bring to the table for y'all as far as entertainment, learning, and value. But follow us on Twitter and IG at S.L.E.E.P is for you. You can check out our YouTube page, subscribe to the YouTube page at S.L.E.E.P is for you as well. You can listen to audio podcasts via Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, Podbean, Samsung Podcast, Player FM, or Google Podcasts, although I believe Google Podcasts is about to fold. They'll be all right. They're about to pivot to another format.
They ain't missing no check. They be all right.
Either way, we here, and we hope y'all appreciate what we brought to y'all this week. Tell anything else you got to say to the people.
Salute. Thank you.
That's about all.
Oh, yeah, and like and subscribe. I'm going to say that every show.
Yes. Like and subscribe, comment, tell us what you think, tell us what you want. I don't know if we're going to give it to you, but we'll see how it goes. Water.
You need more sleep.
Excellence! Yeah. We back. Yeah.
The GP will see you now.
Look, free to return to that emo rap. Ain't no kilo stash. Augusta's son had to reload that. Daddy gone, but his legacy strong. How do you figure? I too thought I'd be dead, all things considered, but I'm living, thriving and growing, fighting opponents that I'm with it. Striving to know who died for the lowest, don't you get it? The industry hopers try to control us, I ain't with it. I got me a goal that's highly explosive with my wife and my baby. What I'm writing is weighty. Call me S.O. or Bebenberg, they knighted me lately. Stand where the light is, feeling lighted, delighted, and maybe I'm getting grown. Nothing wrong with Bible and Baileys. I open up the text, got my mind closer off the edge. Goes the architect, I ain't gotta go to your connect. I gotta go direct, him and I through the sun up.